All right, well, welcome back. It's been another week. It's Saturday. I gotta go out of town tomorrow, so today's video is going to consist of whatever I get done today, and I've already been doing quite a bit. So I did get this finished being painted, the underside of it, or underneath where the boards would go this week. Put it on pretty thick, so there's runs all over the place, but I don't care because it's just trying to keep it from rusting and getting over top of the rust that was there to hopefully seal it. And but I think it looks a lot better. It's been nice and hot, so the paint can cure. I am waiting on a package, which I was supposed to be here today, and then they changed it till Monday to get that stud is in the mail so I can replace it and then put the tires back on there. But as you can see, not perfect, but it's way better than it was. So, and I got the tires on both sides. Well, the back tires on this side, and both tires got everything torqued. 150 pounds. These rear wheels are a pain to get on because you see how the top of the wheel is covered up by this rail. It's kind of a pain to get that outside one on because you got to kind of wedge it in to get it on, but it's on. So I will not get the deck on it. I'll be gone this week. Wasn't going to go buy the lumber today, so I'll work on this probably in one of the videos to come. Something I was able to get accomplished last night, which I'm pretty happy about, is I got the wiring done to the light switch on the 71. So let's check it out. I have most of the cover back on the dash. I have the black piece that goes here up. I just threw some paint on it last night. I'll be putting it on, but let's start this thing. Make sure we're neutral. Alright, so we're going to go first click on the light switch. That gives me flashers. Kind of fast, but they're on. That's all that's on. If I go to the next notch, it gives me flashers and headlights. And if I go to the third switch, no flashers. Headlights. And work lights. So, not rocket science. Pretty proud of myself though. One thing, just trying to figure out these wires here, and I'm like, okay, everything's hooked up. Nothing, the headlights didn't work. So I was getting ready to test ground, test a bunch of stuff. And then I realized that both of the wires were unplugged. They were just like a spade. Spades were hanging, there was no wire to it to give it power. So good thing I checked that and didn't waste a lot of time doing other stuff. So yeah, pretty happy with that. So all that being said, I'm going to clean this thing up, and if you watch run a good oil pressure as always. If you watch Marketplace this week, guess what you're going to probably see on there. I am going to put this one up for sale, and but I'm going to clean it up a little bit today before I put it on. And if you're interested, it's pretty easy to figure out what I've done to it. You just go back and watch all my videos, because I pretty much detailed everything that I've done to this tractor. And yeah, so got that done. So I'm pretty happy to get that done, get those lights done. I need to do the lights on the fenders on this one. That won't take very long. I just probably gotta scrape a little paint off to get a good ground, because since I painted those fenders. But I might do that later today. And then something else, I gotta go cut some grass. But something I'm gonna try to get done today also is clean up a little bit in here in front of the diesel. Clean up a bunch of tools that I've got out, but I'm gonna get the back wheels and tires off this and the front wheels. Get this thing up on jack stands so that I can clean up the rear axles, do the axle seal, do the brake housing, the brake axle seal, you know, the just mind blanking on the word, but you know, the shaft that's in the brakes, where the brakes are, that's leaking on that side. And then I can clean those up, paint the rear axles, the rear hubs, paint the front hubs. I'll repack those and get those prepped and cleaned up before I do those. And then we'll get those on the back, which will look a lot better. I will sandblast and paint the front wheels and get those back on and have new tires. And then eventually I got to get those on the 302 over there, but propane, but I don't think that's going to happen today. I'll be happy if I get this up, everything off this one, and if I get the wiring done on the A4T, I'll be pretty happy today. But first of all, I got to go cut grass real quick, because since I'm going to be gone, it's going to rain more this week and it's still growing. So got to take care of the house before I play in the barn. All right, got the lawn mowed, got a lot of this stuff picked up in here. I'll put that jack stand back there in a minute, but one thing I wanted to show you, I got everything messed around here. Now I got to step over things because I just put that tire there, but I did pick up this morning 2 freshly painted nose pieces from my buddy Rob. This one goes on the Jetstar, the tractor that hasn't had this on it for about 7 years now, finally done. And this goes on the 302 diesel. So Rob he took the dent. This one had if you remember, had a dent in it right there in the black, and he did that and then painted it for me. And so should look pretty good with the freshly painted hoods when I get that back together, painted and polished. So should be good. All right, let's get the 955 out of the way, because when I pull that tire off, I want to be able to have the Jetstar there, throw a chain through the center of that and lift it out here with the Jetstar, because those are loaded and I just don't feel like fighting them today. I know, easy way out, but wrestling those things by yourself isn't very much fun, and it's kind of asking for issues maybe. Always starts up nice. Run a couple minutes. Hey, I like hearing it and B. Hate starting it and then shutting it right back down. I just got a message from Mrs. Ohio MM, so I gotta run in the house and do something real quick. I'll bring you back in a couple minutes. All right, flip the jet around, put the bucket there. So when I take this off, hopefully I can just work it out by hand and then roll it over and lean it against the bucket, and I can get a chain through it and carry it out of here. So that's the plan. I might have to jack it up a little bit more. Kind of when I let it down the jack stands, got both sides. It might not be right, but I will get you guys set up and we'll see how this goes. This rim had a bunch of repairs done to it. It's got this extra plate welded on. It's got a bunch of welding on it, so we'll see. Alright, well this came out pretty easy. Back this one out just a little. And we'll see what she does here. Like I said, I might have to go up a little. Yeah, I think she's still got some pressure on her. Alright, now she doesn't. There we go. I've not mentioned it before, I really dislike calcium. It's been leaking out of this thing. And it really eats up rims. It takes good rims and makes them bad. Alright, let me let it back down a little. Yep, almost too far there. I grabbed it. It's heavy. Oh, there's a lot of calcium in this thing. Should almost have a gantry over here. I would say, if I had to say, this thing's really full. Almost there. It's a hot day in October, and yeah, I can hear the fluids clear up, I would say, up in there. So I'm going to bring it out a little bit more. I don't want to tip this thing over very much. Because she's going to be heavy. Yeah, I definitely got to walk it out some more. Holy smokes. Whew. All right, I'm gonna pause it here because I gotta catch my breath. All right, I think I got her out far enough that I can get it past the axle, I hope. It's gonna be close. if you can hear that fluid, but there's a bunch. I hope the jet will pick it up. Holy smokes. Woo. She's there. I don't know why they needed that much calcium in it, but they did. I can't remember if I bought 2 axle seals or not, but if I did, I'm doing this side too. Pretty sure I did. Because why not, when you get it this far down, do both. So, alright. I'm going to throw a chain around this and get this thing out of here. Of course, the valve stem's at the top. I need to drain it a little. Maybe when I get it out there I can get the valve stem on the bottom and let it drain some. That will help out Matt, who's getting these, because these are heavy. Alright, we'll see what happens here. Get a 6x6, pull the valve stem, I'm going to flop this thing this way so it can just sit out here and drain. I don't really want anything to grow out here anyway, but then that way I can get a chain. I put the 6x6 there and get the chain off of that, and then when I'm ready I can put another chain on it, pick it back up. But I think that's my best option to get this thing draining out and make it so it's a lot easier to handle. There's so much in there that it is valve stem at the top draining out. So I'm going to set this down. Crazy. What I'm going to do is flip my bucket a little. Take the tension off the chain. You take a little more. This thing was clear full. Some old deck wood from the trailer project. I think what I'm gonna do is just drive forward a little and help My board should have been on the bottom side so it would drain over this way more, but it's still got to be draining. Oh yeah, she's pouring out under there. So, all right, we'll just let that one drain for as long as it takes. We'll go get the other one. All right, this one is full too, because I just tried to jack up this side like I did the other side, and it lifted the other side up because there's so much in this one. So I guess I'll get the all but one lug off, and then I might need to call for assistance. Let's see. Sorry if you're getting the glare off my bald head. It's just the way it is. Get on there. All right, we'll loosen that one just a little. See what happens here. I don't like that. I want to get some pressure off before we try to walk that out. So let me think about this for a few minutes. All right, got it off. Had to take that loose. Had to get out the acetylene, had to get out the BFH. Neighbor Carl came over, saved me, because if he wouldn't have, I would have been still working on this. But we got it out here and got it draining against the other one, and again it was pretty well full of calcium, so we'll just let them drain out. If they weren't loaded, this would have taken 15 minutes. But yeah, she's dripping out. So appreciate Carl's help once again. He saved me, or I guess more or less prevented me from getting hurt when I called him. He was grousing a little bit about, what do you need now? And I'm like, you want to explain to my wife why I got hurt, because you didn't want to come over.
Didn't want that on my conscience.
Let's hose that off since it got calcium on it. All right, so I'll bring you guys back in a minute. I'll jack up the front end, get the front ones off, and then we're going to be done with this project for today. All right, now I just need to get the front up off the ground on jack stands, get the front tires off, and then I'll be done with this part of my day. I'm kind of running out of time to do more of what I wanted to be doing, but you know, like I said, I gotta travel for the real job this week, and haven't packed yet. I'm gonna leave early tomorrow morning. So at a certain point, I'm gonna have to stop and go do that. Well, I can tell just from doing that I'm gonna have to do bushing, because this, as I lifted that up, I had a lot of play in it. And that's what happens. Bearings don't sound too bad. And I'm going to go next round. It's good to have a neighbor like Carl. Let me just say, I do appreciate the fact that when I call him, he answers. Although he'll give me a hard time about it. But then he comes over and he helps out, and it's very much appreciated. Especially when it's a dicey situation, and he knows because he's had them and I've had them, where we've helped each other out, and yeah, it's good to have somebody close by. All right, we got them both up off the ground. We're on our jack stands. The back ones, I was checking them, I think are all good. And yeah, I'm probably gonna have to go through the spindles on both of these because they both had a whole lot of wobble in there. All right, well, I just need to buzz off the lug nuts and get the tires off, dismount those, sandblast the wheels, clean up the hubs. I have to paint the hubs. I do want to widen this out a little bit. It's sent all the way in. Hopefully she's not stuck. And get it set up like I have the propane and the gas so that if I want to plow with it, I can. So let's just, I think these are 3/4. Pretty sure those are 3/4. So let me get the socket and the impact. And let's buzz those off. Need a bag. All right. Oh, come on. I do have an extension right here. So I'm just going to do that and make my life a little easier. Yep. I need to talk to there's a guy at the fair that was there, and he had an H and it was broke down, and he had this size tire on the front, and they were falling apart, and it would be nice. I need to get a hold of him and see if he wants these, because I'm going to put new tires on here, save him some money. You know, he's just getting into this, and it's his first tractor, and so maybe that'll help him out. All right. The other thing I like to do on these is, I don't know, I'm kind of particular, but I'll try to knock out the dents that are in here. I'll repack the bearings, but I will flip these hubs so they're like they are on the propane here, where instead of having all of this sticking out, you just have, I don't know why, I just like that look better, and for spacing, doesn't matter much for me, so that's probably what I'm going to do on both of these. But yeah, there was gonna have to probably do those. Not a big deal, but while I got it apart, it will help. So she looks a little naked right now with no rubber on her, but those are gonna look good when I get them on the back. But like I said, I gotta clean up this hub. I need to paint it. I need to clean up the whole axle, take that off, put in a new axle seal. Need to get into the brake here and do the same thing in there because I'm getting oil coming out of there. I'll probably do it on the other side also. And yeah, just take my time and go through this and hopefully not have leaks when I'm done. I mean, it's a mowing, it's probably gonna leak a little. So, Angry Farmer. It's about empty because I use a lot of that seat that was on there that I'll just hold on to. And yeah. All right, well, I think next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick up those tires. They should be done draining out. Get them out of the middle of the driveway. And then put that shield in the 71. I don't know that I'm going to get to wiring the fenders on the 70 today. What time is it? We'll see. But at least do that. Then I'm going to take my pictures of the 71. Then get it really cleaned up today. But we'll see. See what I can get done. First, let's get these tires out of the driveway. I'm just standing here thinking and talking. It's been like a while, but these things are still draining out. They drip a little and then it sucks air in and drips a little more, but I think I'm still going to stand them up, take them over there, hopefully put the valve stems on the bottom and just let them sit. It's a lot of calcium. Just rearranged my chain so the valve stems on the bottom, and there she blows. Still letting it come out. Did I mention how much I don't like calcium? I think I did. Alright, I'm going to let that drain a few minutes before I move it over there because I don't want to kill grass over by the fence. Then we'll come back and get this other one. Do the same thing with it. Valve stem's on that side, so I can try to get the chain around to put the valve stem on the bottom. Well, I'm not as far along as I wanted to be today, but I'm not going to complain. I got quite a bit done and got this done, so I think I can, when I get home from the evenings from work, normally when I'm not traveling, I can come out here and work on this a little bit and get things cleaned up and these seals done and work on the front end. So that's a win as far as that goes, and you know, start making progress on this. I can get those dismounted next weekend. Sandblast, paint. Yeah, this thing by next spring, hopefully before next spring, but she's gonna be nice. So got everything moved back in while I'm waiting on these tires to drain out. Got the one put over there. It was pretty much done. I just picked this one up and she's still flowing. Not a lot though, so maybe I'll go ahead and set it over there and let it just continue over there. Grass is already dead in the pasture in that spot because when they did the what was it, had calcium in it, maybe the A4T tires, they drained out there and there's a big dead spot. Probably won't have grass there for 10 years, who knows. and then I can drag it so it won't spin back. Yep, going to gear. Come on. There you can see the dead grass from the A4T tires. I was afraid that hook was going to hook that rim. It didn't. Before I put this in, I'm going to pull back over here, put some water on that chain since got calcium on it again. Just to be sure, I don't really, this chain's been around a long time. This is my dad's. It's got a repair link in it. And not that it's got a lot of sentimental value to it, but I like it. I like the chain. I do have some memories from when I was a kid, so I'd rather it not rot away thanks to calcium. You know what I mean? Time to put her away. Makes me a little nervous. I definitely don't want to hit the diesel since it's on 4 jack stands. That would be really bad. I got space. Put that all the way down. I'm going to make sure that chain's not underneath it. Yeah, hooking that would be bad right now. I'd probably be a little upset with myself. It's exactly what I didn't want to have happen. Is chain under bucket, and then I can't get it out. So we'll let the bucket down the rest of the way. Good deal. All right, well, I think that's going to be it. Like I said, I got to go pack a bag. I got a million things to do, and it's getting, you can tell the shadows are getting long. I really would have liked to it wouldn't take long. I just got to run. I got to get a good ground on each fender, and then run one wire up inside, be able to fish it up inside of this, and then bring it back to feed power to both of those, and then yeah, then I'm done. Well, bring it down, and then I got to hook it all back in, because these lights and these lights got to be on the same power source, so that when the work lights come on, I got 4 lights back here. It should be plenty bright now with 4 LEDs, and then those LED flashers ought to be pretty nice too. I'm excited to see them work. All right, well, I took some pictures of the 71. It will be going on Marketplace. If you know anybody that's interested in a 71 A4T 1600 with an 2150 motor in it, it's all been gone through pretty much, and you can watch my videos to see everything I've done to that. And it's done quite a bit from front to back. It's a good running tractor. I haven't worked it yet. Probably could still use a few things done to it, and it's got a couple leaks in where the drive shafts go through, but it's not terrible, and it's a pretty nice tractor. So it'll be for sale. It is for sale, I should say. Got good tires on it too. It's a lot of money in it by itself. So like I said, I'm going to be gone this week. Next weekend we'll see what we can get into, see if I can get some of this stuff done, those wired up, maybe put a deck on the trailer, maybe get new tires on the 302 propane, and then Matt can come get those rims and the old tires off that, because he wants those too, and we'll go from there. So appreciate everybody watching. Please like and subscribe. Make some comments if you got anything to say about what I've been doing. Love to hear it. Always fun to hear what people have to say. And we'll see you on the next video.